Seoul is the capital and largest city of South Korea and is home to about 20% of the population. Annually, over 10 million people visit Seoul, and one of the most popular attractions are Deoksugung Palace and the neighborhood surrounding it, Jeongdong. Take a walk through Seoul's memory lane by taking one of the easiest day trips within the city to see a large piece of both its tradition and modern culture. This area is regarded as the introduction of modern culture to Korea. The easiest way to get there is by taking the subway and getting off at City Hall Station, leaving exit 1. Deoksugung Palace is known for its stone wall road and its contrasting architecture. You can see both Western and traditional Korean buildings right next to each other. The main palace's front gate is known as Taehanmun and has served as a front gate since 1902. The guard-changing ceremony was held here since 1996 as a tourist attraction after thorough historical research of past guard-changing ceremonies, and is now held 3 times a day.
절차를 알리는 식으로 나가 레벨 소리에 이어 6번에 부어올리겠습니다.
Is notified the first burial ceremony.
宣演是宣告建国仪式的第一程序的信号。
今日は交代儀式を知らせる最初のサインです。
지금 차마가 전달하는 상자는 중괄 열쇠가 들어있는 약시험입니다.
The vice commander Tama is handing over the main gate key to the officer in red uniform.
手本军穿下跑完公钥匙上以及要连交举军穿下。
両軍のチャマが渡している枠は多くの鍵が開いている焼き案です。
All the palaces in the capital were destroyed by the Japanese invasion in 1592, and so King Jeongdong used the residential buildings on the grounds of Deoksugung as a temporary palace. This palace did not serve an important role until 1897, when King Gojong proclaimed the Great Han Empire's establishment. With his determination to modernize the country, King Gojong brought in foreign architectures to build Western-style buildings within the palace grounds for the first time. Jeongdong, the King's Lounge, was opened to the public in 2006. It was originally built in 1900 and displays a blend of both Western and traditional Korean architecture, and it boasts a unique design. It was originally used by King Gojong to enjoy tea in various ceremonies held at the palace. The lounge was given the name Jeongdong, as it means to peacefully look out over other architecture. After taking a look around the rest of the palace grounds, you can exit the main gate and walk down Jeongdong-gil, or the Stone Wall Road, which will lead you to a neighborhood known as Jeongdong. This is an example of Korea's first successful attempt at urban planning and coexisting with nature. Along the path are over 100 trees and more than a dozen benches for pedestrians to sit and relax. The road was built with eco-friendly materials and designed for pedestrian enjoyment and safety. Along the way, you can see the Seoul Museum of Art, Seoul Museum of History, churches, Jeongdong Theater, and historical complexes. There is a superstition that if a couple walks down this road, they will eventually break up. Nonetheless, many choose to walk down this street and often refer to this as Seoul's most beautiful road. The Ulsa Treaty, or Korea Protectorate Treaty, was signed in Jeongdong, an infamous and unfair treaty that was forced on Korea by Japan. The treaty was signed not by King Gojong, but by 5 Korean ministers who were coerced by the Japanese. The remains of the former Russian legation are a hike up the hill from the Jeongdong Theater. The original Russian legation was almost entirely destroyed after a fire that took place during the Korean War. The only parts left standing are the basement areas and the lone tower, but this was restored in 1973 and the grounds were made into a public park. The Russian legation played a big role in history after Empress Myeongsong was assassinated by the Japanese, and for fear of his life, King Gojong sought refuge in the Russian embassy for a full year. The Seoul Museum of History lies not too far from Deoksugung Palace and serves as a monument that helps to fully capture Korean history all the way from the prehistoric era to modern Seoul. Admission is free, however there is an additional fee for special exhibits. The museum has a cafe and souvenir shop located on the first floor. The museum first opened in 1985 and was renovated in May of 2002, with its main exhibits located on the 3rd floor. Each decade of the 20th century is captured through several mediums, with recreations of a typical Seoul household or apartment building, snapshotting the traditions and family virtues that changed over time. Also, there are many relics on display that were donated by high-ranking officials from countries all over the world. The display illustrates an ever-increasing cosmopolitan Seoul during the 20th century. Deoksugung Palace and the neighborhood of Jeongdong is rich with thousands of years of history and is a place where tradition meets modernity. If you want to escape the bustling streets of Seoul, take a walk down the peaceful Stonewall Street and enjoy the scenery.